Good evening, everyone. This is Shalini Says Wine Shine Quarantine. Today is one of those episodes which is straight after my heart because this is a man I have been following for a really long time. And I have to tell you the story of how it all started. I saw, this
Yeah, I'm
advert.
also curious. I'm
Sorry,
also very curious. I'm very curious. Tell me, please.
there you go. So now, Avinash, welcome on the show. Let me do this like this. Welcome on the
Yes.
show. Thank you for being here. And
Thanks. So
now
I'm,
I'm
I'm
going to.
curious about your story. I'm waiting
Yes,
to hear your
I
story.
I said now that you have spoken before I introduced you,
Sure.
it's only
Sure.
fair for me to welcome you on this show. So
Thank
welcome,
you.
and now I'm going to share the story of how I found Avinash Ananda. I had just moved to Monte Carlo, and there was this advert on social media which was really trending, and it was kind of showing up on my face every day at this huge event that was going to happen at the Grimaldi Forum in Monaco. And I saw an Indian name who was going to come and speak at the Grimaldi Forum. I was very excited because when you are outside of your country, you tend to seek your own country people, and that is speaking at a forum like the Grimaldi Forum, which is the largest event arena ever, I think, in the world. It's pretty huge for an in-house conference. I was very excited, and I reached out to Avinash through that forum, and that is how we got connected to each other. And he was so polite and so kind to actually respond to me, and we connected with each other. And ever since, he has very unintentionally been my guru because I've been following him and watching him. And today I have the great pleasure of having him on my show. Thank you, Avinash, for being here.
Wow, that sounded fantastic. Thank you so much, Shalini. Thank you. Thank you.
It is
And
true.
you
And
you have this
now I'm
you
going
have
to
this
read
aura
out.
of positivity. You have this aura of positivity. And every time I watch your show, I see that. And I see that in all of your guests also. So I must compliment you.
Thank you so much. Now that I have brought Avinash on the show, now I'm officially going to read it out because there is so much about him and he's not going to tell you. So I'm going to have to read it out. And like I said in my Facebook post, he can change your mind, he can change your life, and it's absolutely true for him. He's an internationally renowned leadership advisor, happiness strategist, management consultant, master behavioral trainer, crisis counselor, culture catalyst, alignment alchemist, business coach, success mentor, and motivational keynote speaker and author. And he's one of the 51 most fabulous global happiness leaders. Oh my God, all that in one person. Avinash, is this true?
I couldn't hear half of what you said, and probably that's good.
Yeah, right. That's not good.
It will keep me
I can
grounded.
I can hear you. I can hear you very
Kidding.
clearly. And I'm going to
I'm
ask you
joking.
the first question is not about you, but about a concept. I feel that we Indians tend to be much nicer to each other when we find each other overseas. We're more accommodating, whoever we may be celebrities, even if it's a Bollywood star. If you reach out to a Bollywood star in Switzerland, the star would speak to you. However, if you do it in India, they would, snub you. So I feel that we Indians are so much nicer to each other outside of our own country. It brings out the patriotism in us. Why doesn't it happen to people in our country? And since you're such a guru, I want you to shed some light on this fact.
What do you call it? Wine,
Shine,
dine,
shine.
wine, shine. Wine, shine, quarantine. Nice, nice, nice. So, Shalini, it's not just Indians. Uh, it's all over the world because I work in 15 countries, and I work very, very closely with people where they come to me with their challenges. So I know what's behind the scenes, not just what is portrayed. I'm talking about within families, the way the culture is. I'm talking about in businesses, what happens behind the scenes. I'm not just a guy who comes in front, does a motivational talk, and goes away. So they share with me the reality of what's going on. And I found that human beings all over the world are pretty much similar. And that saying applies, ghar ki murgi dal barabar. Huh? Okay, so and I've used this same story. For example, the story of the crabs. There's in the dockyard, there are these crabs that are being exported and they're about to be put on the ship. And one of the containers is open. So the guy says to his friend, he says, man, shut it, otherwise you will get fired because the crabs will go out. He says, no, don't worry, they're Indian crabs. No, one goes out, the other will pull it down. Okay, so but when I've used this story, when I go to another country and I say, oh, these are French crabs, or I say these are Albanian crabs, it works. So human nature is the same. I found that people are different in their wants. They may be different in their customs, but at a fundamental human psychological level and physiological level, people are pretty much the same all over the world.
You are spot on. You're spot on. That's why you're such a guru, because you pretty much understand everybody, and that's why you're able to speak all over the world. And I love how you start all your sessions with a namaste. I think that is so humbling to me. I really admire you for that, for taking Indian culture all across globally. I'm very proud to know you. So my first
You know
question.
what I say before your question, Shalini, if I may, you know what I tell them all over the world about Namaste? I tell them that India has a lot to teach you, because what Namaste means, it's not just we are avoiding the shaking of the hand from or to avoid the virus. No, Namaste means a lot more than that. Namaste means I honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. I honor the place in you where lies your love, your joy, your peace, your uniqueness. I honor the place in you where if you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, then there is only one of us. So the idea is that you be you, I be me, but there is one of us. So we don't try to change each other. We don't try to conquer each other. We respect each other. And that's the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is a family. That's the message that India has to give to the whole world in these days of racism, in these days of strife, of all the conflict that is happening. Harmony.
Beautiful, beautiful. So my first question to you, Avinash, is, and for everybody, because I think everybody's curious. I did write meta mind alignment.
That's right.
So
That's right.
please
That's
tell
all.
everybody what that means.
What that means. See, uh, meta mind alignment is a science of leadership and happiness. It is something that was coined, the term was coined by my sister Varsha and me. Varsha is a psychotherapist and educationist. She works primarily with children. And also, she's an emotion management expert.
Varsha is
And all my work, sorry?
sorry to interrupt. Varsha is watching, so you can say hello and then say the rest of it.
Oh, that's nice. Hi, Varsha. How are you? Huh? So she is the most important person in my business because she's my business partner. I only do the talking. She does the creation of all the material. And we have a team of psychologists, of people who are behavioral scientists. And what we've done is we've researched uh, everything that we could on human potential optimization from the philosophers, from the meditative practices of the East, and from the latest in management sciences, neurosciences, behavioral economics, positive psychology in the West. And we put it together into this body of a system of knowledge, which we call meta mind alignment.
Wonderful.
Meta means beyond. Mind is the activity of the brain. And actually, mind is available all over the body. But this is more true in Eastern philosophy. In Western, they only know conscious mind and subconscious mind. So we said, no, we also have a metaconscious mind, which is our consciousness or our chitta. We talk about in yogic sciences, there are 4 types of mind, which is you have the buddhi, the manas. Buddhi is intellect, manas is memory, ahankar is identity, and chitta is the consciousness. So that's what we refer to as meta mind. So we say that each one of us has something in us which we can activate, by which we can be happy, and what that will lead to is an alignment within, and an alignment with our inner world and the outer world. So that's the
Wow.
concept.
Wow, that is beautiful. So I think I really need to fix the inner and outer world, because I'm working on the inner world, but the outer world is not fixing itself right now. So
So I found this is very interesting. When I go to the western part of the world, they are asking me about spirituality. When I come to the eastern part of the world, they're asking me how to be materially advanced. So everybody's looking for something they don't have. We said, let's put it all together in meta mind alignment.
how awesome is that? So I want to tell you, considering the circumstances, there's a lot of people at this point in time going through a lot of anxiety.
Sure.
Is there anything that you would like to share with them so that they can get over this anxiety? Because I think their fear is bigger than the disease at this point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And fear is FEAR. Forget everything and run. And when you're quarantined, you don't have any place to run also. So you have to do FEAR, which is face everything and respond. But as you said, sometimes the fear are not real. So that is false evidence appearing real. So you have three things for fear right now. You wanted acronym, so I gave you some. Okay. So what we need to do is to help each other, and help is HELP, high energy level participation. So the message that I have to give is this, that let's not react, let's respond. Just one message. The time is short, it's better to keep it simple. So I say, when there is stimulus, something happens. Usually what happens is outside our control, but how we respond is usually in our control. But how do you make it into a response and not a reaction? The way to do that is, in between the stimulus and response, there is a pause. Can we increase the pause between stimulus and response? If we do that, we will be more at peace, we will be more calm, and it will be more of a response than a reaction. It's like, who said that if you slap you on one cheek, you should show the other cheek? Who said that? No? We know Gandhi ji said that, Mahatma Gandhi said, Jesus said that, Munna Bhai said that, in the movie. But the point is this, that how many of us can do that? And should we do that? It is situation appropriate. So the point I'm making is that let's not follow gurus. You be your own guru, have the light within. Yes, you must. Every leader must have a mentor. Everybody must have someone who shows them the light. But let that be our message, that we need to show other people the light too. For that, we need to have the light within us. And for that, we need to be calm, not anxious. There's this beautiful story of the Buddha who tells his disciple to get him a mug of water from a nearby lake. So he goes there and he says, no, the lake is very muddy. So Buddha sends him back. So he goes and he says, the lake is still muddy. He sends him back. And then he says, yeah, the dust is settled. The sand is settled and now the lake is pure. He said, that's all. All you need to do is pause. Sometimes it's not about doing something, because people are going so many webinars. One guy said, I read in some group, he said, I'm doing so many webinars, I feel like Spider-Man, So the point I'm making is, people are taking things too seriously. They say, out of this lockdown, I have to come out. I have to come out fitter. I have to come out more knowledgeable. I'm going to renew myself. Relax, man. Prepare yourself. But the first thing you do is, don't have what I call Leo. Leo is LEO, lockdown emotional outburst. Okay? There are many people who go crazy. Okay? And at some point of time or the other, you check out everybody in your family, all your friends. They have this outburst, because they're suppressing it. I'm saying relax. Pause, where pause stands for P is positivity, A is adaptability, U is understanding. That there's something you understand, something you don't understand. If a family member is having a Leo or emotional outburst, relax. Don't try to use logic to handle their emotions, because that's like throwing gas or petrol on their fire. Emotion has to be handled with emotion, with love. So you have positivity, you have adaptability, you have understanding, you have simplicity. Let's simplify things. Let's not complicate. The last E is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the energy of the gods. The theos, the word comes from Greek root, which means like theology, the energy of the gods. So we need to generate this energy ourselves. We need to be battery chargers for other people. And we need to make sure that we are not psycho vampires. We don't take away the energy of other people. So as long as we do this, and then what we learn, what we develop is all additional. It's all a bonus. The important thing is, don't react. There will be so many thoughts that come in. Sift through them. Pause. Give it some time.
This is like when we were all growing up and our mothers used to tell us, na, beta, lambi saans lo, das tak
That's
gino.
right. That's right.
And it's so good.
I did in one of my seminars. One college student got up and said, he said, sir, I counted to 10. Now I was getting angry. I counted to 10, but it didn't work. So I said, count to 20. Don't take the words seriously. Get the concept behind it. The concept is, you need to distract yourself. You need to calm yourself. You need to give it a little time, because if you SMS or text somebody in anger, your anger will subside, because that's just chemicals, but the text will remain. And you've conveyed.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was just going to say this, that, people tend to do this a lot on WhatsApp, and that's why they have to take a step back and not send messages, because they are there forever.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and these emotions are just biochemicals. Huh? You let it subside, it will go away. And the best chemical, best neurotransmitter is anandamide. So everybody's heard of dopamine, everybody's heard of serotonin. You've done your Yale certification in the science of well-being. Congratulations for that. But anandamide is a beautiful chemical, and ananda, it has bliss in it. Anandamide is a chemical that is released which helps you to forget. So sometimes if we forget, we are happy.
Is that where you get your surname from?
Yes, that's the surname that I chose. Huh? And my father told me, he said, "Why did you? What happened to my name? Because I changed the name. My first
Is it
name is the name that my parents gave me, but the last name is the name that I chose because it feels good and it suits my profession. And what I
wow?
teach, yeah, what I teach is Avinash Ananda, which is indestructible happiness, a happiness that cannot be taken away from you. Not a happiness that comes when you get something, but a happiness that will allow you to get whatever you want.
Wow, I didn't actually know that. I just
There
kind
you
of
go.
have to ask because you said that. I want to tell you something. I was very clear that I was not going to write any questions at all, so I would not be
Good.
distracted because I wanted to hear every word that you're saying because I
That's so
actually think
beautiful.
it's gospel. So I follow you like a star, and I think every word you say is so true and so real. And I think all the people watching, I want to tell you that this is something you want to listen to. This is someone you want to hear all the time. I want to
Thank
ask
you
you
so
another
much.
question. I'm
Please.
very intrigued by all the rings that you wear. Is it because of the stones that you believe in, and how do you think that it, resonates in your energy?
Everything has a story, but this story is actually a very simple one. The reality is that I like it. That's all. That's the only reason. Huh? But since people want a story, I have a story for everything. I have a story
Right.
for every ring, in fact. I pick up rings in different parts of the world. This started because I was mentored by Rishi Kumar Pandya, who was a corporate trainer and a sitarist who uh, he was married to Annapurna Devi ji, who's the ex-wife of Pandit Ravi Shankar. And he gave up everything just to come to India. He was from Montreal, Canada. He came to India. 25 days he played sitar, 5 days he gave seminars. And I met him when I was 10 years old. He was my dad's friend. And I was enamored with him. He had long hair and he had these rings. So, in the process of emulating his inner world, I think I also emulated his outer world. And for me, this is a memory of him that he's always with me. So, it keeps me grounded and humble, no matter how many good words are said about me, like you are saying today. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow, you really do have a story, and I think it's a very intriguing story. Now, to get down to a topic which is a favorite of yours and mine, and the whole world tends to keep seeking happiness through things, and they don't, like you said, we have to go within, and it's a choice
Sure.
and it's a decision. I do want you to speak on the topic of happiness because that's who you are, spreading love and happiness all over the world.
So you want to do something with me, which maybe the viewers can also do in their own homes? Put your hands together like this. We'll go with the namaste. Please put your hands together like this and repeat after me. Yeah. Say, I feel what I feel.
I feel what I feel.
I think what I think.
I think what I think what
What
I
I think.
think.
I say what I say.
I say what I say.
I do what I do.
I do what I do.
I want what I want.
I want what I want.
Okay. So now I'm going to pause you here and I'm going to recap just so that we understand this. We remember this. Wanting, feeling, thinking, saying, doing. Okay. These are five faculties of man. Like you have Saregama Padani or you have Dore Mi Fa Solani. You have these five things that every human being wants something. So when the gurus and the babas say, Ichha chhod do, stop wanting, it doesn't work. Everybody wants something. Even wanting not to want is a want. Okay. Feeling. Some people say stop your feeling and just be logical. It doesn't work. We are all feeling. You have to understand the feeling. You cannot stop the feeling. You can manage the feeling. Thinking. Some people say stop thinking. Okay, it doesn't work. You cannot stop. Make your mind empty. I mean, come on. It's a good ambition and a good course you can sell, but thinking is part of what we are. The key is to not to allow the mind to be the master, but to be a master of the mind. Saying, everybody says something, everybody does something. Then I'm not Hrithik Roshan, so I don't have another finger, so I put it here. This is knowing, knowing. So you have wanting, feeling, thinking, saying, doing, knowing. So the problem is that people want something else, feel something else, think something else, say something else, do something else. For example, integrity. When I was there in when I was in your part of the world, in the south of France, I was brought there by a dear friend of mine, Professor Claude Varley, who is the ex-CEO of Coca-Cola for the entire south of France, Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Right now, he's there. He's a professor at the University of Monaco, a very dear friend. He was the one who invited me to Monaco, and I did the program there where you mentioned that you heard of me the first time. So, in one of those seminars that I did there was a French lady, and I was talking about integrity. So I said, "Do you have integrity?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "What does that mean?" Because I don't believe in just the words. So I like to go deeper. So she said, "It means that I will never divorce my husband." So I said, "What does that mean?" She says, "It means that I don't mind having other men, but I will never leave my husband. That's integrity." I said, "Wow." So people define things in different ways, just to suit themselves. It's a life of convenience, not of principles. The karma or the action is not according to the dharma or the principles, but it's according to convenience. And that's what messes things up. People want great success, wanting, but they're not willing to do what it takes. Okay. People's feeling and thinking clashes. So here's what we need to do. Can we put our hands together, please, again? Repeat after me, please. Thank you so much. You're so sweet for doing this. I feel what I think.
I feel what I think.
I think what I say.
I think what I say.
I say what I do.
I say what I do.
Then we go, I feel what I think what I do what I say what I feel. Okay, I do what I say what I want. Okay, and I know you can't do this, but you get what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is we are one. I'm saying be one. Be one human being, whether you're in India, whether you're outside India, whether you're talking to a friend, whether the TV camera is on you, whether you're sitting in the living room. If you have too many faces, they call it chehre pe chehra, nakab. People teach personality development, but persona is mask. We have to be one inside and outside. And that harmony is real happiness. When you are in harmony within yourself, then people know what to expect from you, then people are in harmony with you. Either they will be there or they will not be there. But even that is harmony. Okay? So that harmony is happiness. Conflict is unhappiness.
Wow.
That's meta language.
I'm going to have a busy weekend, right? I'll be busy doing all that.
It's good exercise also.
And talk about nakab. This is the time when everybody can officially wear the mask. So
That's right. That's right. Huh? That mask is the same. There's a saying, we put on a face for the faces we meet. Huh? But this mask at least is the same, for everybody.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Actually, I don't know. Do you know Arnav? Because Arnav is telling me it's 5:50. Are we running out of time? Because I think this is a really...
Arnav is a sweetheart. Arnav is my godson. Huh? And yesterday I told him, I said, "Arnav, you're not telling me the time. Huh? When the time of the program is going to get over, you got to tell me because I can go on and on." So he's so sweet. He's doing it here right now. Amazing.
That's so sweet. Because
Arnav is 15. He's 15 years old. Arnav said something very beautiful, which will help, I think, everybody for happiness. That don't run after happiness. Arnav is 15 years old. He conducts a seminar on happiness for 250 kids in his school, and he does phenomenal. Arnav started training with me when he was 6. I believe in starting young with people to train them, to develop them as leaders. I started at the age of 10. I was fortunate, so I wish to give this back. Arnav came to me when he was 7 years old, and he said, "I like this girl in my class. How do I get her to be friends with me?" So then I asked him, I said, "Arnav, how do you catch a butterfly?" So he says, "You catch it like that, okay, with your finger." I said, "Is there any other way?" He said, "I catch it with the net." So I said, "Is there a better way?" He said, "You tell me." I said, "Build a garden. If you have a beautiful garden, you have lovely roses, the butterfly will come." He says, "But then some will go away." I said, "It's okay." Right? So that is happiness. You don't run after the butterfly. They will come everything you want. If your face is in the direction of the sun and you're doing the right thing, the shadow will follow. But if your back is towards the sun, if you're in the wrong direction and you try running after the shadow, which is what everyone is doing, you'll never get it. And then there'll be frustration. So relax is my message. Pause, relax, and work on yourself. If there's any area in your life that's not working, it's not about that area, it's about your capability. If you know how to handle it, it becomes easy. And easy is EASY. Everyone always says yes.
Wow. You are just something else. I want to tell you, your story is so real because just this morning in my apartment, there was a peacock. Okay, now we have this, so where I live is World Star, and there's this other condominium complex called Magnolias. So every time there's a
Mhm.
discussion, they say, Magnolias, because they have these large gardens and etc., they get peacocks. And
Yeah,
we don't have those many large gardens, and that's why we don't get peacocks. That's not the truth. The truth is that now nature is beautiful. There's not so many people in these gardens. So the peacocks actually have space to come there and be there. So the
absolutely.
peacocks come to any condominium. It doesn't matter whether the garden is, if you don't give them space, then they're not going to come to, we've like cluttered it up. So it's so
Very true.
important not to run behind it.
Yeah.
Just create the space for them, and they will
Space.
find a
Very nice.
way to be here with you. And that's so true. I love what you said. I do want to share one or two things with you
Please,
before.
please.
So no, go ahead and say what you're saying, then I'll share this. Go ahead and say what you're saying.
No, no, you go ahead. It always, I have a lot. Go ahead.
There are a lot of people that are watching, Avinash, and I do want you to share. I can't, unfortunately, because I go live in 4 channels, I can't read a lot of the names, but there is
Sure.
somebody who's thoroughly enjoying this engaging talk, would like to believe I
Thank
do have
you.
integrity. Wow, Avinash would carry
But
on.
what is that integrity?
I love the integrity part of it. Huh? Then there is some friend of yours, Ranjana, who says hello to you and is loving every bit that you're saying.
Lovely, lovely.
Salman, who's a journalist and a friend, is saying strong words and loving your session.
Thank
Ranjana,
you.
again, beautiful explanation, garden in the sun. So, Avinash, this is actually a really stimulating session, and I definitely don't want to cut it short. I do want you to, however, share, because whenever I watch your sessions, you have like everything that I've asked you. You said an interesting story, and that's why people will resonate and remember. And I
Ah, you
know
want to
there's a,
story?
yeah. So I want you to share one of your favorite stories with a message.
Every one of my stories has a message, and if you give me a word, I'll give you a story. Huh? So, you want to do that? Go ahead.
No, no,
Give me
you
any
go
word.
ahead. You go ahead. This
Okay.
one is on you. This one is on you.
All right. So, I will keep the story related to the topic, which we've been talking about, where we're talking about relax, don't take things too seriously. Life is not to be taken too seriously because nobody gets out alive. So I don't mean to be morbid about it. What I'm saying is relax. Things will happen. Control what you can control. Let go of what you cannot control. Don't make every small thing into a big thing. People make mountains out of molehills. Learn the art of making molehills out of mountains. If you can do that, then life will become much, much easier, just like that. So the story is about this man who is walking up and down, pacing up and down in his room at 3 o'clock in the morning. He's very upset. He's very upset. He's pacing up and down. His wife is on the bed. She says, "What happened?" He says, "Nothing." Very often when we're upset, we say nothing, even though there's something. And then because we want somebody else to ask us, what is it? Because if we, yes, please.
Just 1 second. There is somebody
Sure.
saying that they cannot hear us. You want
Ah,
to check your speaker or your mic or something?
no, I'm okay. Can you hear me now?
Vikrant,
Say
is it
yes.
clear now?
Say yes. Say yes. Say yes.
Okay, because everything
Is
here
it clear?
seems. Vikrant, can you hear? Anybody else? If you're on the. Okay, I think Shishir can hear. Okay, Varsha can hear. Let's go ahead.
Super,
Sorry,
super,
sorry.
super. So no,
Go
no
ahead.
problem. The man was anyway pacing up and down all this time when Shashank could not hear what was happening. So he was still pacing up and down because he didn't tell his wife what happened, because his wife was asking him what happened and he said no, nothing. And because he wants his wife. Next time you ask somebody who's upset what happened, and if they say nothing, say okay and walk away. They'll come running after you. This is all psychodrama. People do. So so this guy's walking. He says, "Tell me what happened." So he says, my friend Ramesh, I have to give him 2 lakh rupees tomorrow morning, but I don't have 2 lakh rupees to give him. But I told him I'll give him tomorrow morning 2 lakh rupees. I don't have it right now, so I'm like very upset. He's walking up and down. He says, "You come. You wait. Tell me Ramesh's number." So she calls Ramesh. 3 o'clock in the morning. The wife calls Ramesh. "Ramesh, my husband cannot give you 2 lakh rupees tomorrow morning. Good night." She keeps the phone down. She says, "Now you come and sleep." It's Ramesh's turn to walk up and down. Right? Don't take everything so seriously. Relax. Planning it is better to prepare and prevent rather than repair and repent. Okay. However, in the moment, nothing much is going to change. This preparation is a lifelong thing. Anything that looks spontaneous, like me talking right here, is years and years of hard work. But in Ravi Shankar, when he used to play sitar, people just know and they applaud that his lovely virtuoso performance, but they don't know that he used to. For 7 years, he had to play Saregama Padanisa, Sanidapa Magarisa in a small village, Maihar, for 14 hours a day. Okay? He almost ran away from home. He was beaten up by his father all the time. This guru. People don't see the hard work that goes into you being who you are, Shalini. For example, behind that beautiful smile, what stories there must be. Okay, so it's very important that don't put too much emphasis on showing or looking good to others, but focus more on being good and developing yourself. And in the process, please don't push yourself too much. Relax. This is my
Wonderful.
message.
Wonderful. I love
Be
that.
alive in eternity.
The story that you've told is definitely a couple who's not been married very long, because when marriage begins, we're really interested and we want to know. Then when you're married for 25 years, then you just say, oh, never mind, nothing, then good
One,
night.
one more quick story. One more quick story about the marriage. There was this married couple who was very much in love in the beginning, and then not even 25. 10 years down the line, the fire went away, fizzled out. Okay? So then they said, let us do something to reignite it. People want to do something. So they said, okay, let's go back to the same place where we had our honeymoon. We go to the same resort. We book the same villa. We open the door in the morning, just like we did, right, 10 years ago. And we look out in the balcony and we see those same beautiful lovebirds on the branch of the tree. And they saw the birds, they were cooing. So the wife said wistfully to her husband, she said, look, 10 years back, I saw them. They're still in love. What happened to us? The husband says, look closely. The guy is the same. The girl bird is different. Okay? Some people want variety also. Right?
I want to share a very sweet story, actually, which worked in the lockdown times, when this couple was getting married. So the girl's mother told her that every time you do something special, you deposit a little money in your bank account and write it in your passbook and write what happened. Okay.
Sure.
And after she's been married for a long time, she's just not happy. And just like all couples start fighting and you're like bickering and say, you do your thing, I do my thing. She goes to the mother. She says that, Mom, I'm so done. So she says, I want you to do me a favor. And she says, what? She says, today, just sit down and read your passbook. What all are the entries you've made in the last 20 years? And when she sits and she goes through all those special times with her husband, she changes her mind. And I think that is something we all need to do during this lockdown, because we can't travel and because we're bickering with our spouses, being locked down. We really need to revisit. We need to know, and we need to be grateful for all the beautiful times we've had together, and how we can actually make this time together, even at home right now, so special by communicating and doing things together. I think that's very important for people to know.
Absolutely.
I want you to give. I know that you're doing a workshop. I think it is starting tomorrow, if I'm mistaken, or when is it?
This is the first time in 30 years, Shalini, I'm doing online workshops. And I tried to dabble with a different system, which I'm doing on Instagram, and I'm doing only 1 hour a day for 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I'm doing 4 such workshops. I just finished one on leadership with a batch, and it's so intense, so powerful. I'm very excited about it. Another one is starting on emotional mastery on Monday.
Okay.
So on Monday, if there's anybody who'd like to join in through you, I will send you a code, or just mention that to Shalini, and they could come in there. It's on avinashananda.net. That's my website. Go to the online courses and click the one on leadership is over. Emotional mastery. Then the week after that is on execution excellence, because we learn a lot, but do we apply? And the last one is on success. So these are the programs I have, where we take limited number of people, but there's transformation.
So please block all the 3 of them for me. I will definitely be joining you. I know I have to sign up. And all the people that are watching, I think this is something that you all want to do, because forget the fact that, yes, I'm a coach, it's going to add to my professional career. But even for personal development, I think it's very important to just sit and listen to my guru, Avinash. And I'm so happy to have him here. I want you to give a message to the audience before we sign off, Avinash.
The message is this: we don't know what we don't know. So let us not be so arrogant as to say, I want to learn this, I don't want to learn this, I refuse to learn this. Let us be open. Let us not be me-centric, but let's be open. The world is teaching us some lessons. And when you get an opportunity to learn something, only someone who is outside a box can tell you, if you're inside a box, how to come out of the box. So I will end with a shlok, Sanskrit shlok, which gives this precise message that find a mentor and follow a mentor, because a good leader begins by being a good follower, and then the leader creates leaders. Amantaram aksharo nashti nashti mulam anaushadam ayogya purusho nashti yojakas tatra durlabha. What this means is, amantaram aksharo nashti is that there is not a single letter of the alphabet from which a mantra or a hymn, holy hymn, cannot be made. Amantra Baksharo Nashti, Nashti Mula Manaushadam. There is not a root of a tree or a plant from which a medicinal herb cannot be made, according to Ayurveda, which is the fifth Veda. Okay? Ayogya Purusho Nashti. There is not a single individual who does not have the potential for greatness and for being extraordinary. Yojakas Tatra Durlabha. What is rare is finding the individual who can get the mantra out of the letter. What is rare is finding the individual who can make the medicine out of the root. What is rare is finding the individual who can bring out the greatness in each person. You are such a person because you're doing this for other people. I've been fortunate to be such a person since a very young age, since the age of 17. And I strongly urge people to find the light by following a mentor and looking for someone, and then tomorrow being the light for others. That's my message.
Wow, that is absolutely beautiful, beautiful. And it's been so amazing to have you here. And I do want to tell the audience that, more often than not, we need to change self rather than the change of scene. So you have to actually work on it. And here's a guru. You're welcome to join me as well. I'm still not as accomplished as him, but I'm working on it. And thank you so much.
Anyone who shows the light, anyone who helps anybody is a blessing.
There you go. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching us today. And if you want, this session is going to be available on my Facebook page. So please go there and you can repeat it and learn all that, which I'm going to be doing over the weekend. And keep spreading love, keep spreading happiness. And thank you again to my guest. And namaste is the part of the day.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
See you.
Bye. Thanks.